I want to ask about the reaction today around the league for Jack Eichel. So, and I know that, by the way, I believe you're releasing an episode of the first.
Like, do you want me to scoop myself?
No, I don't want you to scoop yourself.
What's the run of play here?
But can you tease a little bit about what's going to be on the CJ show tomorrow about that?
Tomorrow.
Also, we haven't said that the first episode will be tomorrow.
Oh, it won't be tomorrow? Okay, well, maybe
it will be. It will. We haven't said that, I don't think.
Okay, well, it's going to be tomorrow.
The show. It will be tomorrow.
Sorry,
right?
that's my bad. Yeah.
Do you know this?
I didn't know I worked Fridays. Like, what the hell is this?
Well,
HR, line 1.
Yeah, actually, it will be. We should say this. We're hoping for Mondays and Thursdays. Obviously, your schedule's all over the place, so there will be some flex days in there. But Mondays and Thursdays.
He's competing with us?
We'll be Monday, Wednesday, Friday. He'll be Monday, Thursday.
What?
I know. Imagine people could listen to both.
No.
It's crazy.
It's crazy to think.
I can't wait until it's like November, and I'm like, guys, let's do Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Like, we got a good groove going here.
Listen.
We start like moving in on your real estate.
Hey, I'm fine with it.
You can have an entire show worth of content, all the shit that we miss after we
I'm
upload.
just gonna,
yeah.
I'm gonna spend the whole day blowing up Jesse's phone, like, hey, I need your help with this, man. Like, dividing him away from the SDP.
Yeah, exactly. So
I'll do it.
Yeah.
Calling him at exactly 12:01.
I'm coming in and I'm just gonna splinter this thing.
So he's a double agent. That's what's happened.
You're a plant.
So
Who sent you?
Top line is that Jack Eichel was stripped of the captaincy today. Don't give us more than a couple sentences on this and dive into it tomorrow, because I know there'll be more in the story tomorrow. But your sense of it is there? I guess the question is there actually a deal close, or is this okay?
No.
Okay, there's no deal.
No.
Okay.
Like,
Oh boy.
no, 1,000 times no.
Okay.
I mean, how do you make a trade right now? Like, they haven't even figured out his health.
Mm-hmm.
Like, look at the teams we think might want to trade for him or have sort of kicked around there or might be a good fit. Like, none of them have $10 million in cap space. You know, a lot of those teams that would be trading for him are trying to win a Stanley Cup like this season right now with the players on their roster.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to predict when a trade will happen because things can change quickly, but this is a really awful situation. You know, I have a lot of empathy for Jack actually here. And for those of us, like, I never played in the NHL, obviously, but for those of us that never made a living the way players make a living, this is a good reminder that, like, they don't really own their bodies in when it comes essentially to their work, right? I mean, the way they earn an income and the way Jack Eichel earned that contract is by performing a sport. And as part of the CBA and the sport that he plays, you know, the team, as collectively bargained between the players and the owners, has the right to make these kind of calls on his health. And you know, I think that's a really difficult situation. I'm not a doctor. I don't know whether he should have the spinal fusion surgery or the disc surgery that he would like to have that's deemed a little more risky or less tested. You know, I can't make that call for him, but I can put myself in his shoes enough to think, like, man, what an awful situation.
Like, at what point did the Sabres just cave and let him get what he wants? You're going to get shit all for him. You got a second-round pick for Taylor Hall. Like, you're not exactly good at this. Let him get the surgery.
Well, there's an element of mutually assured destruction here, like, depending on how far both sides want to take this. Now, I do think, you know, Jack has changed agents to Pat Brisson at CAA. You know, this isn't a comment on his previous agent, but I do think it's introduced a different dynamic to the table. And, you know, Pat is a veteran deal maker, great relationships, great reputation, not known as an agent who throws grenades into situations. I believe Roberto Luongo might have hired him in Vancouver prior to the deal to Florida, if I'm not mistaken. And so if someone is going to come in and not inflame a situation, it's CAA, I would say, and Pat specifically. And so, you know, he's got a lot of powerful... He just knows how to handle these kind of situations. So I got to believe what's best for everyone here is for Jack to get as healthy as possible and for him to play hockey again somewhere other than Buffalo. And so they, as much as they are at odds over what the treatment plan should be, they're not at odds over how this has to end, like, as peacefully as possible. And so I have to believe there's a way forward, but, you know, a day like today, it just reminds you about how fucked up this is.
Is Kevin Adams in charge?
Oh, that is a good question.
I know.
Well, he's a general manager.
I know.
And he has a boss or two.
Mm-hmm.
and everyone has to answer to a boss. And so if we look at the Boston Bruins, Don Sweeney's boss is Cam Neely, and Cam Neely has to answer to ownership. And in Toronto, Kyle Dubas answers to Brendan Shanahan, who answers to a board. And so I don't know how much we can say that anyone is in charge. You know, he's making the hockey decisions, but obviously you're talking about a very expensive asset that this organization has in Jack Eichel, and someone is signing those checks, and obviously we'll have an opinion about how this should go. And so, yes, I think Kevin Adams is in charge of taking the phone calls and trying to formulate a way out of this situation, but you know, he wouldn't be able to make this decision without the input of ownership. But I'm not sure that that's, even though I think I know what you're alluding to. You're alluding to the fact that he's young, that he's not terribly experienced in the position. You know, he wasn't an assistant GM. He didn't, you know.
He was brought on because he was friends with them.
No, sorry.
That's
Kevin
really
Adams'
what-
name was in the question, but this is not a Kevin Adams specific question.
Right. But like I guess my point is that there would be heavy consultation on any team in the league when trading a $10 million player.
Okay.
Or handling a very significant decision to do with his health. There might be one.
Steve.
Hey, there might be one general manager in the whole league that doesn't have to answer to anyone on this kind of thing.
Lou Lamoriello.
We don't even need a second.
Yeah,
call him Lou.
it's got to be Lou.
He
Gotta
doesn't
be
need
Lou.
training camp rosters. He doesn't need to register contracts. No press releases.
That guy's just Bane. Ownership goes, Lou, you can't do that. Do you feel in charge?
The standoff between him and Bodie Wild is going to be fascinating. So,
I don't think it'll be a standoff.
standoff.
Yeah, like Mayweather versus Logan Paul.
Right,
Like,
yeah.
What a standoff.
Kipper versus Dangle in the parking lot.